Okay, I pretty much got it back together. I've got my coolant tank put back on. All the bolts are in for the timing cover here. I've got my motor mount reinstalled. I took the jack out from underneath. Fuel rail is in. All the plugs are back in, along with the little blue clip that has been floating around floating around the car here to lock that in. Throttle body's installed. Just have to install the cable. I've got 2 bolts sitting aside here for that right here. Lock the cable, the speed cable in. I've got the new, there's my old plug boots. I've got the new plug boots in, along with some new wires. I got that hooked up. My fuel rail is locked in down here at the bolt. All my other little sensors here, O2 sensor, it goes down to the exhaust manifold is plugged in. I've got my transmission fluid dipstick in. All the other connectors down there. The connectors here, there's another connector up here. Everything is hooked up. I did end up having to cut these little metal bands right here. These little metal bands went around this. I'm gonna see if I can't do something different, but I just put I have a box of them somewhere. I can't find them because I'm gonna need another one here. There was a metal band on that one too. Then I'm going to have to strap that in. Some type of a PCV valve. The other thing I did was I drained all the fluids. That was all that was left of the coolant. Got that completely out. Drained my oil. That is completely black and burned. It's horrible. Non-translucent whatsoever. I want to get. I mean, it's completely black. So, I've got 4 quarts of oil I'm gonna put in. For some reason I only picked up 1 gallon of antifreeze. It does take 10 liters. So I think I'm going to need another gallon. But I'll do what I can. I just want to see if I can fill it full of fluid. Turn it over. See if it starts up. If it starts up, I'll shut it back down and wait for, I'm going to need a new batteries as well before I can actually get it running, or get it going on the road, but I'll get some more antifreeze for it. So I will keep you posted, and I'll post a video of this, hopefully of this running. Okay, I was hoping that this next video here would be showing this engine running. Unfortunately, it will not start. So I am kind of back at square one. I did take the coils out, or the coil pack, along with the plug boots. I took that back out. I wanted to check spark, because what I did was I verified that I am not getting any fuel injectors are not firing. I did that by I put a clean towel under. I pulled the fuel rail, put a clean towel under that, or you can use paper towel, and just turn it over real quick. Come back and see if you have any wet spots on along the paper towel where the fuel injectors are. It was bone dry. I then went and used my little tool again and tested the fuel injectors. There's pressure in there because the fuel injectors did spray when I was testing it, so I know it has pressure. It's just not firing when it's supposed to. I also, when I pulled the pack out here, I tested. I did my spark test again, where I put a spark plug in there. I hooked up my my wire. Well, it's still connected to a spark plug. I put my wire, clipped it here. I put the spark plug in there, turned it over. Now I'm not getting a spark. I did get a spark before I even started this project, I guarantee. So I don't know what happened between then and there. What I ended up doing was with this plug plugs into your ignition control module right here. I wanted to see if the control module was bad. I'm finding that it is not bad. What I did was on these you can use a multimeter, get wire piercing probes, which are it's like a little pin that goes into the wire, not to damage the wire. I didn't have any of those. I just used I used straight pins. I put straight pins in the wires I wanted to test. What I did do though, you can do this with it unplugged. You hook up multimeter on DC volts. You test the pink wire is your positive. You put the positive probe on this this end pin here, and then on the ground, and it's showing 12 volts. You then go over to the next wire over is black. That's your negative. You put the black probe here, and then you put the red probe on positive. I'm getting 12 volts. You can then test the to see if it's getting signal from the crankshaft position sensor, which is, I have some of this taken apart down here. It is down there, just above the oil filter. You see this wire that's right here? I don't know if you can see it very well, but it is connected to that wire on the block right there. That is your crankshaft position sensor. What that does is it has a little meter, a little metal, I guess some prongs on the crank, and as that crank is going by, it sends a signal to that position sensor up through here, and it tells when to fire your spark. First thing you can do is set your multimeter to ohms. You connect it to the yellow and the purple wire, and that will test to the crankshaft position sensor and see if that circuit is broken. You should read between 500 and 1.8K ohms. I am reading ohms on that. The next step is to see if it's actually functioning or doing what it's supposed to do. You hold your multimeter on the yellow and the purple wire. I had my wife in here. She went and you turn your multimeter to AC voltage. Plug those two up, any order, black, red, whatever, but you on the yellow and the purple. Crank the engine over. If you read anything like 2, 4, 5, 1 volt, that means that it is sending pulse signal to the ignition control module to create your spark. I was not getting anything, I guess. It was fluctuating between 0.1 and 0, but my multimeter will fluctuate 0.1 and 0.0 just sitting here. It's 0.0 now, but if I held it on there, see, it's going between 0.1 and 0.0 anyway. I'm only assuming that since I'm not getting anything but maybe 0.1, so it's possible that crankshaft position sensor is not working. One of two things. that being one of them. The second being is that I assumed from my reading here that this car is equipped with a anti-theft system which disables spark and fuel if it detects that the wrong key, or if it's not, or if it's been hot wired, quote unquote. So I did come over here and check. I took all this apart so I can get to the key, and this does not look anything like anything I found on the internet. It's supposed to have like a yellow, a green, a black, a orange with a black wire. I don't see any of that. There's a way that you can disable it by cutting some of those wires, and then putting a resistor in between. It doesn't look like I have that that type of system, which is supposed to be a PK2. It's also supposed to say on your key in this area here, it's supposed to say PK1, PK2, or PK1, or PK3. I don't think that this key has the transponder chip in it. I don't think that this is enabled on this car. When I turn it to on position, there's a theft light that comes on here, and then it goes away. So I don't think that the theft system is the culprit. Like I said, it will disable the ignition. There's a way to reset that. You turn the key to on position. You're supposed to wait 10 minutes. Turn the key to the off position. Wait 30 seconds. Turn the key back on. Another 10 minutes. Off 30 seconds. On 10 minutes. And that light is supposed to turn off and reset the system, or kind of reprogram the system back to your key. Since I don't have that light on, I can't tell if that's the problem or not. I did try that. It took about 40 minutes to do. I tried it. There's still no luck. You're also supposed to come over and take your key and lock the door, unlock it, open it, close it, lock the door, open it, close it. I did that a few times. It still wasn't any success. So what I'm thinking is it might be that crankshaft position sensor. I went and bought one. I'm going to it looks like the easiest way to do it is from underneath. You will have to take the oil filter off. I attempted to see if I could get to it from up top. I probably could have if I didn't put the intake manifold back on. I would have to take the intake manifold back off. I did take the throttle body off. I'd have to get the air intake off to get back down to that one bolt right there. I believe it's an 8mm. You take that plug off, take that bolt off, and then with some prying and some pulling, maybe some twisting as well, that crankshaft position sensor should come out, and then you can put the new one in, put the bolt back in, and then try your luck. So I am going to do that. I'm going to take the looks like it's a newer fuel filter or oil filter, so I'll take that oil filter off from underneath to give me access to that, and I will be back.